As even the court lords investigating agency with new leads emerging, Sanjay Raut, the Rajya Sabha MP of the Shiv Sena, stays in ED custody till the 8th of August. Sanjay Raut's wife now summoned by the Enforcement Directorate over cash transfers from alleged frontman and aide Praveen Raut. China fires 5 ballistic missiles in the Japanese exclusive economic zone, even as US Speaker Nancy Pelosi lands in Tokyo. Thank you for joining us on The Burning Question. It's 8 p.m. I'm Niranjan. Sanjay Raut, Rajya Sabha MP, Shiv Sena leader, has been sent to ED custody till the 8th of August. The court, while sending him to ED custody, has lauded the investigation of the Enforcement Directorate, saying there has been big progress in the case, adding that there were proofs of transfers that now need to be investigated. Sanjay Raut's name, meanwhile, is emerging in a second scam. ED sources saying there is a second scam over 30,000 crore rupees called the Pearl scam, where his name is emerging. They've said in court that they're looking into the money trail. Here's where the story stands, and then the question on whether it's vendetta or justice.
There is no relief for controversial politician Sanjay Raut. Even as his ED custody is extended till August 8, his name is being associated with another scam now. As per sources, Praveen Raut, who is under the ED's arrest in the Patra Chawl scam case, is also being questioned in a multi-thousand crore chit fund case of Pearl's group, where Raut's name has also come up. According to ED sources, while interrogation in case related to Pearl's Agrotech Corporation Limited, one person named Sanjay Raut in statement. The ED has also revealed that there was allegedly a trail of more than 100 crore rupees of proceeds of crime to Praveen Raut, the main accused in the Patra Chawl land scam case, and further money trail had come up during the probe. This includes the purported money trail of Sanjay Raut's international trips. Though not connected with the Patra Chawl case, the Pearl scam case can escalate woes to Sanjay Raut, and the Raut camp continues to play victim.
ये पॉलिटिकल केस है, इसमें संजय राउत को अटकाना चाहते हैं, ये संजय राउत को उद्धव जी से तोड़ना चाहते हैं और उद्धव जी को थोड़ा कम, उनकी ताकत कम करना चाहते हैं।
जो अभी ईडी के कोर्ट ने रिमांड बढ़ाई है संजय राउत जी की, ये दिखाता है कि ये जो भी भ्रष्टाचार के कॉलोनियल कजिन्स है, जिन पर भ्रष्टाचार को लेकर कार्रवाई होती है तो उसे अत्याचार बुलाते हैं और दुराचार पर उतर आते हैं। आज उनका जो विक्टिमहुड कार्ड है वो फिर से एक बार फेल हो गया, फ्लॉप हो गया।
And now that the ED has summoned Sanjay Raut's wife Varsha in the Patra Chawl scam, can Sanjay Raut play a martyr? Bureau Report, Republic TV.
Joining us on the broadcast are Shazia Almi, national spokesperson of the BJP, Advocate Dhanraj Vanjari, who's an advocate and a former ACP Mumbai, Swapnil Kothari, senior lawyer, Pathikrit Pain, political analyst, Vijay Krishna, who's a political analyst who leans towards the Shiv Sena, Uddhav Thackeray faction, Lieutenant Commander Gokul Chandran, political analyst, leans towards the Congress party, Shubhankar Bhattacharya, who's a political analyst, leans towards the Trinamool Congress. George Kurian is a political strategist, joining us live from Pune. Okay, let me start with, let me get Swapnil Kothari, in fact, to go through the details of what the court has said. Swapnil, we were reporting on this remand copy of the Enforcement Directorate and what the court said while dictating the order. And the court has said, let me just pull that out, the exact words of the court. Alisha was reporting live. We had those details. I'm just about pulling that out. Just give me a second. Okay, the court said that there is remarkable progress in the investigation. Now, you've gone through some of the facts of the case and they've gone into great detail about the cash transactions. plots of land that were bought using cash transactions, about 1.17 crore extra cash, foreign tours. Now, can all of this be brushed aside and can it be called vendetta? Swapnil Kothari, on the facts of the case.
Not at all. Even if you want to call it vendetta, you want to call it witch hunt, you want to call it bad politics, none of that survives in a court of law, because eventually you will have to argue on the facts, on the merits of the case, if you want to get bail or if you want not your custody to be extended. Your custody has been extended today by next 4 days or so. That means your defense is not there on the facts of the case. How do you justify 2 lakhs per month? That means you did not want 24 lakhs to look as a big figure. Then possibly there was even a cash transaction of 37 lakhs or so. Then now you are saying 1.16 crores, whether it's overall or whether it's additional. Now, obviously, there are some things, some foreign tours also. So all of these things are supposedly, in the eyes of the Enforcement Directorate, a quid pro quo for something which you got and for something which you delivered, which was not something within your powers to do so. So obviously, whether you were connected with Sunil Raut in some form or the other, that is the link that the Enforcement Directorate will try to establish. Because if they are unable to establish that, then obviously the case of the Enforcement Directorate weakens. Yeah. Now, this is where the facts will play, Niranjan, a tremendous amount of role. Because what has happened is that the PMLA Act now has got a great amount of boost by the Supreme Court's latest judgment, giving powers to the Enforcement Directorate the way they were, and they have justified almost each and every provision of the Act that the way is as it stands, regardless of the conviction rate of the Enforcement Directorate. Because what matters ultimately is that we follow a system that everybody is guilty, rather innocent until proven guilty, and let 100 guilty people escape, but not one innocent shall be punished. So obviously, even if the Enforcement Directorate does not have adequate conviction rate, that does not mean that the act is wrong, the powers of the Enforcement Directorate are wrong, or they are arbitrary. This is what the Supreme Court has ruled. And as per the amendments of the PMLA, predicated offences, meaning even if they are offences convicted under the IPC, as per Section 3 of the PMLA, those apply and they come into the picture. And the ED has the powers of search and seizure, seal, arrest, everything that is there for the Enforcement Directorate to do as it progresses with the case. Yeah. Now, these predicated offences could be in 120B conspiracy, criminal breach of trust, I believe it's 406 if I remember the section correctly. All those things will come into play, embezzlement, cheating, everything. Yeah. So all these things, Patra Chawl scam, if I was supposed to give something, and I have not been able to give that, and I have got my quid pro quo, and that too in amounts which are much, much more than what it ought to have been. Yeah. That means if you, as you underlined all the important parts of the remand copy, it clearly showed, Niranjan, that these are suspect transactions. And when transactions are suspect, the Enforcement Directorate has got all the powers to literally, sift out every single thing. They will ask you every single possible question. And even Mr. Raut's wife, under whose name certain properties were there, has been summoned today. So obviously the Enforcement Directorate is on a path as far as its search and seizure aspect is concerned, or discerning the facts of the case. Because unless and until you are comfortable with the facts and you have the facts to back up, your ECIR is going to fail in a court of law. Yes. All this custody is fine. But at the end of the day, you have to be able to prove your case. Yeah, I know what. And for that, you need the custody. I know Vijay Krishna wants to jump in, but let me get a response from Lieutenant Commander Gokul Chandran first, and then Shazia can come in. Lieutenant Commander Chandran, you just heard what Swapnil said, and there are facts that are emerging that even the court has taken note of, saying that when he was brought in after the arrest, these facts had not emerged. So there are more and more details coming in, and we're also hearing there's a second scam called the Pearl scam. Now, can you call it vendetta?
Yeah. Good evening, Niranjan. Just give me 2 minutes without interruption. I will clear everything. The only way you can say that Mr. Sanjay Raut or anyone who is being interrogated by the Enforcement Directorate has done wrong or right by watching if they are joining BJP or not. If anyone is joining BJP, then you have to be very sure they have done something wrong. If someone can withstand the onslaught of Enforcement Directorate and he doesn't join BJP, then make sure then he has not done anything wrong. In Mr. Sanjay Raut's case, why do you need him in custody to prove the trial, money trial? Because you have everything with you, you have the transactions with you, and you have to take him in custody because he will destroy the evidences so that you are keeping him in custody. If so, he would have done that much earlier. The case was going on for a long time, and if he wanted to destroy the evidences, he would have done that very long back, and I am very sure ED will not get any trace of what he has done if he has done that. Now, as of now, what ED has found out, they have found some transactions and nothing has been linked to the Patra Chawl case or the Pearl scam or whatever you call, nothing has been linked to that. There are some transactions which Mr. Sanjay Raut will explain how and where that money came from. So what BJP government is doing, you know, Mr. Harshvardhan Patel, when he joined from Congress to BJP, what he said, if you remember, he said, now I can sleep peacefully because I don't have to fear the enforcement directorate. Mr. Arjun Kotkar, who recently joined the Shinde camp, he was almost crying. I was compelled to, I didn't have any other option but to join the BJP side camp, otherwise I will be witch hunt. Mr. Kripashankar Singh, the BJP was behind him. He couldn't withstand the pressure. He did something wrong and BJP happily accepted him. So the only benchmark where you can find someone if he has done right or wrong is if he joins BJP, then he has done something wrong.
I'll actually add a name to that because you mentioned that, and I'll let Shazia take that. Shazia, see, we know there is proof emerging, right? You didn't mention a name. His name is Pratap Sarnaik. Swapnil will know Pratap Sarnaik was also raided by the ED. He is now in the Shinde camp. Now, we'll talk about that. But if this case happened in 2008, 2009, in 2018, there was a fresh relook at the case. 2018, there was still a BJP government, if I'm not wrong. Now, you can question the timing, but there are more facts emerging. You want to respond to what Lieutenant Commander Gokul Chandran has said? And to all the critics, before they ask you that question, you can start, and then we'll get the response from the other side.
Okay, okay, I will answer that. So first of all, I mean, that is pure conjecture and that is an opinion. And the fact of the matter is that there are real facts, there are real documents, there are real entries, there are real chawls, and there are real tenants. And there are real people who have been denied the houses. There is the Guru Ashish builders. There are those 9 other the private builders. There is that money, and there are these links. So that is just one thing. On the other hand, there is your allegation that ED is acting at the behest of a government. Now you tell me, for once, let's just go along with you and say yes, maybe it is so. The fact of the matter is, whether it's West Bengal, whether it's Jharkhand or it's West Bengal or it's Maharashtra, when there are corrupt people who have been indulging in these acts of corruption, whether they're former Shiv Sainiks or BJP or Congress or what have you. And there are such huge amounts involved and real people involved and real land involved and huge corruption involved. Should there not be any investigation? Why should everything be political? I don't understand that. Should corruption be not investigated?
Yes.
Is that not the purpose of ED? Is that not the job of ED?
That is.
Can you stop being a member of a party for once and say for the first time something good is happening? These corrupt people are being apprehended and the wrongdoing is being exposed. The reason why they're being sent and enjoying these huge positions. Why should he have these lovely houses in Dadar and Alibag and what have you? And those 642 families be denied theirs?
Yeah, I wanted to come to that.
So no. So why shouldn't this Lieutenant Commander be asked such questions? It should only be about BJP and Shiv Sena.
Yeah.
Some things are bigger than BJP and Shiv Sena and Congress.
Yeah.
You get it, sir?
Yeah. What are you saying, Lieutenant Commander?
By this. I'm disgusted. You're a Lieutenant Commander and you talk like this.
Yeah. I got it.
I don't even want to call you. You're a spokesperson for a corrupt person. That's all who you are to me right now. And I don't want to speak as a BJP spokesperson. I want to speak as somebody who was part of the Anna Hazare Andolan, who stuck to her guns. And I think ED should do this. I don't care what witch hunt it is,
Yes.
but everybody who's corrupt should be hunted. There should be a
Okay,
witch
we'll have a
hunt
face-off
against every
between
corrupt person.
Shazia and Lieutenant Commander Gokul Chandran. Face off.
Yes, I think there should be this.
Yeah.
And more of this.
Shazia,
and people like
I would
Sanjay
be-
Raut should be
I
routed.
would be
They
accepting
should be
your
routed out of
arguments.
politics.
Okay. I
What
would be
okay?
accepting
What
your
okay?
arguments.
No, it's not
if
okay.
your
It's
party,
more
the
than
party
okay.
which you
should
belongs to,
salute you should salute the ED officers.
it's okay, not okay. Okay,
It is
not
no,
okay.
It's not okay.
Okay, not okay.
What should you do?
Not
Like,
okay.
I scratch
I will
your
be
back, you scratch
accepting
my
your
back. BJP government comes, Congress government comes, NDA comes. You do corruption, I do corruption. We scratch each other's backs. Yeah,
Listen.
That's what you want.
Listen.
No, it is not going to
Listen,
be like
listen.
that. I'm sorry. I'm
Listen.
very sorry. It will not be
Listen.
like that. Corrupt will
Listen.
be exposed for the first time. I think
Okay,
that is
I'll-
being done. Whoever
Okay.
it is. And if you have
Okay,
any
it's-
problem with
okay,
the BJP
okay,
leaders,
okay.
please
If
have.
you are-
But I think Sanjay Raut and people like him should be routed. Whether it's Patra Chatterjee, whether it's Sanjay Raut, it does not matter whether it's in the
You are
opposition.
talking as a anti-corruption crusader. You
I
are
will
talking
continue
as
to
an
remain
anti-corruption
so.
crusader.
That is who I
If you
am in my
have
heart.
even an iota
And
of
you are
shame,
speaking like a pro-corruption.
you should question the
You are
BJP
pro-corruption
of
and I'm
siding with
anti-corruption.
Eknath Shinde.
At this point of time,
If you have
you're
given
just
an
a
iota
politician.
of shame,
And you're just a politician.
you should
I'm in
question
politics
the
for a
BJP
reason.
on
And what
siding
about you,
with
sir?
Eknath Shinde,
You're for pro-corruption,
Arjun Kotkar
but you are
and other
pro-corruption.
people,
So this
other
is a fight
Shiv Sena
between
leaders,
anti-corruption and
which you have
pro-corruption,
made
in which you're taking the
government
stand
with.
of being pro-corruption. And I'm very proud to be anti-corruption, which is
Shameless,
why I'm
Shazia.
with the ED,
You are a
which is why I'm
it is
anti
very, very
Sanjay Raut,
shameless.
which is why anti those people
Shameless.
who use the system and milk the system for
Shame,
perpetuating.
Shazia.
Shame on you, pro-corruption man. Shame on you.
Okay, let's not.
Shame on you.
Okay. No
Shame on
need
you,
for name
Shazia.
calling. No need for name
Shame
calling,
on you,
please.
because-
No, he called
Where we,
shame
no,
to
please.
me.
Let's. No need for name calling.
And let me answer.
No. You can respond, but no name calling. No name calling, please.
If she is
Everything
No
that
name
you
calling.
use to BJP
Crusader.
Congress.
No name calling,
If she
please.
is an anti-corruption,
Yeah,
if she is
you're
an
pro-corruption.
anti-corruption crusader,
Yeah, I'm very clear
if
about
she is
that.
an anti-corruption crusader,
I'm very clear
she
about
will
that,
talk
sir.
about the corruption of all party.
Yeah,
Let
so
her,
being for Sanjay
if she
Raut
has
is
a
being pro-corruption.
spine, if she
I'm
has
very
a
clear.
spine, let her
Yeah, very
speak about the
clear.
corruption of
Lieutenant
BJP.
Commander Gokulji,
If she
whoever
has
you
a
are,
spine,
you're pro-corruption.
let her speak about the
And
leaders
I,
of
Shazia Elmi, will remain
corruption of
anti-corruption
people who
till
are
the day I
joining
die.
BJP. She
That is
doesn't
very
have a
clear.
spine to do that.
They are
She
very
is
clear.
scared to do that.
Very good. Shame on you for
If
speaking
she's
for
a-
the corrupt.
if she's a real
Shame on you.
anti-corruption crusader,
Shame that
she-
you call yourself Lieutenant Commander. I will
If-
not. Mr.
if you
Gokul,
have a
whoever
spine-
you are, you're pro-corruption.
If you
Sanjay
have a
Raut
spine,
stands for corruption.
stand up and
That's
question
why you're
against
speaking
all
so much.
corruption.
That's
Not only
why
Sanjay
you're
Raut,
petrified.
question against
I mean,
all
the kind of corruption.
If you have a
If Param-
spine to do
Paramjit
that,
Singh,
do
my
that.
God, what will
Otherwise,
happen in
don't
Maharaj
do boys
Agadi?
and coming
And
and
you
sitting
stand
in
for them.
TV.
And it's
Okay,
become about
don't be-
ED.
Okay, can we take a step
Yeah,
back?
who
One
cares?
step back.
Don't be partial.
You are being partial.
Can we take one
You are
step
being-
back and
you are clearly partial.
can I request both
no,
of you,
sir,
Shazia?
one step back.
Shazia.
It's very clear.
No, I'm going to make sure. No, Shazia, I'll make sure.
Shame on you.
I'm talking
No,
about real
one minute.
entries.
Shazia.
I'm talking about money trail.
Yeah.
I'm talking about money laundering. I'm talking
I
about
want to put some
embezzlement.
facts on the table. Shazia, I want to put some facts on the table.
It's based on facts.
I want to put some facts on the table. I want to put some facts on the table, and I will bring in Lieutenant Commander Gokul Chandran and you once again. I just want to bring in the 6 others who haven't spoken on the panel. 1 minute. Now, I have in front of me the copy which the court took cognizance of. I'm just going to read out a few points. It says 47 acres of land at Patra Chawl. Our reporter went there, and these are the poorest of the poor, right? We are, working out of Mumbai. We have an idea or two about the people who invest from chawls, from the poorest of the poor families who invest all their life savings into moving into better homes, right? There's still small homes, but there are slightly better homes, right? 672 families. 1,000 crore rupees was taken from them. Here's what happened. 1,000 crore rupees was taken from them, and Vijay Krishna will pretend like he doesn't know. 1,000 crore rupees, of which 112 crore rupees. So 1,000 crore rupees is taken from them. 112 crores, roughly 10%, goes to a man called Praveen Raut, who's Sanjay Raut's aide. And from Praveen Raut's accounts, cash starts going into Sanjay Raut's wife's account as per the ED. Sanjay Raut buys plots in Alibag, buys apartments in Mumbai from that money using the cash transfers. Now, I'm not saying it, it's the Enforcement Directorate saying it. And the Enforcement Directorate has also said, by the way, breaking news update now coming in, Sanjay Raut's wife has been summoned by the Enforcement Directorate. Sanjay Raut's wife has been asked to appear before the ED at 11 a.m. tomorrow. That's the breaking news update. I'm just getting in another breaking news update. Quickly, I'm getting in the first pictures of Kharge leaving after many hours of questioning from the national capital. I'm requesting my panelists to stay with us. The debate continues. I'm going to take this debate forward after these live pictures. That's Mallikarjun Kharge, senior leader of the Congress party, Rajya Sabha MP, leader in the Rajya Sabha for the Congress party, leaving the Herald House, which has been sealed, by the way, in the freedom struggle for profit scam. And I'm saying with those pictures, getting you the live updates. Kharge has left the National Herald office. Kharge has left the Herald House. And those are first pictures of him. First pictures of him leaving the Herald House. And he's been there, and the Congress party has been tweeting. The Congress party has been tweeting about it, saying that he was targeted. They claim that he was kept there for a long time. In fact, a few Congress leaders, including Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, tweeted saying, hats off to Kharge ji. ED people, you must know that the party stalwart Kharge ji cannot be frightened into submission. It will be a futile exercise. We all are expressing steadfastly our solidarity with him, come what may. Okay, those were live pictures coming in. I don't know whether that's still live, but he's left. These were pictures from a few moments ago. Okay, going back to the debate. Let's go back to the debate. All right. Lieutenant Commander Gokul Chandran, I think he just got up there for a few seconds perhaps. Okay, we'll try and get him back, but let me go across to Patikrit. Patikrit, let me bring in Patikrit with George Kurian, right? Patikrit, can anybody run away from this? I mean, see, they've established a cash trail, okay? They say cash, and they say when we arrested him, there was 1.06 crore that was moved from a bank account. But now there is an additional 1.17 crore. They say cash was infused or utilized in land purchase. They say there were foreign tours, 2 lakhs per month that came in several years from 2010. And that is threatened sellers, witnesses. Some tapes are doing the rounds. I'm not getting into that. But can you ignore all of this and then question agencies? Patikrit Payne and then George Kurian or Vijay Krishna can respond.
Let me give you a data. As of yet, in the last few years, Enforcement Directorate has seized more than 1 lakh crore. And the observations and the verdict of the Supreme Court has made it clear that the money will stay with the Enforcement Directorate. They are not going to give it back to those from whom it has been taken. So the bigger question is this, Niranjan, those who are questioning the Enforcement Directorate, take for example the issue of West Bengal. I mean, what stopped the West Bengal government and all its branches and agencies under it to find out the 50 crore cash which was found in two flats of Arpita Mukherjee? Why did it take ED to find it out? The hundreds of crores of properties, the money laundering, cross-border money laundering, the shell companies. Why couldn't the state government and its law enforcement machineries could not do it? That's the number one question. Number two, I'm sure the same modus operandi is in this case of Sanjay Raut and Patra Chawl as well. So there's a bogus argument that is being put up by the opposition that the conviction rate is less than 1%. Oh, come on, the conviction rate is less than 1% doesn't mean the rest of the 99% has been exonerated. The issue that is there of Enforcement Directorate and CBI is of sheer shortage of manpower and infrastructure, something that has been raised by the Supreme Court in its observation in August 2021, where it stated that we understand manpower is a real issue. We have to take a practical stand, just like us. Investigating agencies also are suffering due to shortage of manpower. This was stated by D.Y. Chandrachud and Justice Surya Kant. Third, a very important issue that we have to understand. Look at a case like Associated Journal Limited. And I consider this as the financial deal of the millennium. You invest 50 lakh and you get 2,000 crore of the properties. I mean, in this case, you couldn't say where you got it. So you put the blame on Motilal Vora because Motilal Vora is no more. And then you cry foul, it has been seized. I mean, you should be happy. Before 2019, you were crying
foul and you were mocking the Prime Minister. Oh, where is your, attack on black money? In the last, so many years, what has happened? More than 1.2 lakh shell companies have been blocked, and thousands of crores are lying idle over there. Nobody has come to take it because everybody know what would happen if they come and claim the money. So the reality is today the real crackdown is happening, and those who are crying foul are the same people who were mocking when the Aadhaar was being linked to the bank accounts. And what has been the impact of it in the last few years? I'm just quoting from a tweet by Rishi Bagri, 20,000 fake NGOs, 4 lakh shell companies according to him, 5 crore ration cards, 6 lakh fake midday meal beneficiaries, 80,000 fake teachers, all have been cancelled. And so this is the real crusade. The saving has been at that time 1.41 lakh crore. So the reality, these are financial crimes of the highest order. These are white collar crimes, and that's why you require organizations like Enforcement Directorate who know how to investigate through the entire labyrinth of the balance sheet to find out the crime. These are not easy things. So if the opposition and the accused can have the best of the legal luminaries to defend them, why can't the government have a professional agency like Enforcement Directorate to investigate the case? The people went to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court actually showed them the door. So today we are facing the worst kind of organized crime in the financial sector. People's money have been pilfered. Today there was one particular channel which was showing how the National Herald buildings have been given on rent to beer shops. To hardware shops.
No. We also reported it. 1 minute, I'll tell you. We also reported it.
I'm sorry, maybe I've not seen it on your channel.
We broke it. We broke it.
But the reality is, so today those people cannot cry foul. Today those people cannot cry foul. This is the money which is then being used.
Okay, so let Vijay Krishna come in.
To subsidize ration for 80 crore people.
Yeah.
The money that is being saved and taken by Enforcement and Directorate, the black money, this is being used to subsidize 80 crore people during the COVID time. So the opposition should be happy. Why are they crying foul? If it is Motilal Vora, then the honorable Gandhi family should be happy. Look, Motilal Vora did it. Government has seized. Great. But why are they crying foul now? And in any case, look at this. The Associate Journal buildings, the buildings were given to the National Herald by, I think, Prime Minister Nehru. Those were not owned by Congress. Those were Government of India building. Now, if that organization is no more working, give it back to the Government of India.
Yeah.
How can you own it?
No. Vijay Krishna.
50 lakh, you get 2,000 crore. You should be working for Morgan Stanley and Morgan. They should pay you billions of dollars to get this kind of deal.
That's a fantastic deal, right? Fantastic deal. But that's a debate at 9 p.m.
This is something they don't teach at Harvard Business School.
Yeah, I know, but that's a debate for 9 p.m. We're on Sanjay Raut. Let's go across to Vijay Krishna, who seems very excited. Vijay Krishna, what's your response to the 700 families still waiting for their homes?
Case, and I'm again 14-year-old case,
14-year-old
and I'm again reiterating that
where are the homes?
Not even single pace belonging to Patra Chawl land deal has reached the bank accounts of either.
Are you the ED? Have you seen this document?
His wife. I'm reassuring you.
This document have you seen?
One second. Let me tell you, if this is a 1,000 crore worth scam, so you are holding Sanjay Raut ji responsible for 1 crore. It comes around 0.1%. I'm not a Sherlock Holmes.
Okay.
No scamster would leave a digital trail. By any chance. It may be any business transaction.
No.
1 second.
No. You may not be aware of the facts, so let me educate you on the facts, because you may not have this document that I have in my hand, okay, in front of you. First of all, a man called Praveen Raut, believed to be the aide, who the ED in court on record calls the front man for Sanjay Raut, got 112 crore rupees. Did you know that? 1 minute. Cash transactions to buy homes in Mumbai. 8 plots. Do you know how much a plot, let alone an apartment, costs in Mumbai? Do you know? Vijay Krishna. Vijay Krishna is joining us from Chennai. You're in Chennai. I can assure you the real estate prices in Mumbai is 5 times than the real estate of a plot in Chennai. Okay, minimum. Swapnil is smiling. Okay. 8 to 10 plots in Alibag, 200 meters from the sea, the beach. Fantastic. It's the stuff that dreams are made of, that you're buying for, you know how many lakhs? 40 lakhs. Okay, you want us to believe 10 plots were bought for 40 lakhs. Swapnil, please tell him. Swapnil, 1 minute intervention.
Yeah, well, Mr. Krishna, let me tell you, there's much more to what meets the eye. The plots at the purchase rate is absolutely ridiculous.
Could you please recall your mind and go back to 2014 days?
Let him speak.
BJP, in the election campaign of BJP. One second. Fadwanis, this is my time. 30 seconds more. Devendra Fadwanis ji made a good speech. He talked about corruption. He became a corruption crusader and said these very words, Chakki piecing, that Ajit Pawar would Chakki piece once BJP would come to power. But what happened 2 years ago? Early morning,
Vijay,
oath as CM of Maharashtra.
Vijay, I asked you about 1 minute.
2000 inquiries.
Vijay, requesting you, Vijay. No, Vijay, if I ask you about Apple, don't tell me about watermelon. 1 minute.
I completely understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
My only short point is that all the arguments that you make, Chakki piecing and all of those things, that there is just 1 crore compared to 1,000 crores. Unfortunately, the only arguments that Mr. Raut's lawyer can work on to defend his client, and he should be doing that, is to justify and to bring out the merits of the transaction and to say that this is clean and that is clean. Unfortunately, what happens, Mr. Krishna, is that under the NDPS Act, you are aware of it, I'm sure you've come on many debates, NDPS Act, UAPA and PMLA, all these three are draconian legislations where the burden of proof lies pretty much on the accused as much as it is on the prosecution. So when the accused is saddled with these kind of transactions, it's for him to come out and say that my money is clean, that I am legitimate, and I've mistakenly used Sunil Raut's name. It's for the enforcement directorate, there the burden of proof is there to establish the link between Mr. Praveen Raut and Mr. Sanjay Raut. So the point is that part the enforcement directorate will have to prove. And one more point that I would like to make, Niranjan, to Lieutenant Commander is that
Lieutenant Commander, okay, right side, Lieutenant Commander Gokul Chandran on the right.
Quite a few things that all you have to do is join hands with the BJP. Now, I'm sure you are well versed with certain rudiments of the law, where you cannot use these arguments, even if what you were to say is 100% true. I'm going to the extent of 100%, although it is not. Let me tell you something, that none of these really work in a court of law. You have to present your case in a justifiable, in a defendable fashion, so as to not have custody of your client, and also to wriggle out of this situation and to present and unfortunately even a reasonable doubt doesn't work here. You have to come out with a clear-cut case of showing that this money is legitimate, and if it's a white-collar crime, then you, enforcement directorate, are trying to stain with black money our white collars. That is what you'll have to show and prove. Otherwise, none of your arguments will ever hold water. And especially investigating agencies are given a little bit of a free hand by the courts of law, so that they can go ahead with their powers and try to do whatever they are trying to do, which the enforcement directorate is trying to do. And if the enforcement directorate should transgress and unnecessarily harass someone, then nothing stops any of the accused, whether it's Mr. Raut, his wife, Mr. Praveen Raut, or anybody for that matter, to go to a court of law and say that, look, we are being unnecessarily harassed. This is beyond capacity. And you raised a very valid point also, that why seek custody? Now, if your answers during the course of your investigation, when I'm coming to your house and asking you questions, if they are uncooperative, then the enforcement directorate has the powers to tell a court of law that we've asked him 100 questions, we've got answers to only 20 or 30 or 40, because they must be having a questionnaire. And that is the reason why the court is inclined to grant. And you will notice that they asked for 8 days custody, they did not get 8, they got 4. And today also they got only 4 more days. So the courts are proceeding with caution as far as this is concerned. The custody has to be given if the answers are not satisfactory. That is the law, a simple law point. It has got nothing to do with the stature of the accused. It has got nothing to do with what political parties.
Shubhankar and George have been spoken.
Political parties do not come into play, need not come into play at all, at every juncture, in everything.
Yeah, absolutely. George, tell me, we are hearing, and this is what Shravan, my colleague, shared from his sources in the ED. And I'll get Shubhankar also on the debate. Shubhankar will respond, and Dhanraj Vanjari hasn't spoken yet, so I'll get him also on the debate. George, to you first. ED is probing Sanjay Raut's alleged role in a money laundering case related to money laundering again, a keyword being money laundering. Case related to Pearls Agrotech Corporation Limited.
Patch me.
Yeah, let me give you some facts. They've recorded the statement of a person who has named Sanjay Raut. Okay. ED has been probing this Pearls Agrotech Corporation Limited and its subsidiaries in what is, hold your breath, 45,000 crore. 45,000 crore chit fund scam. And they've also raided earlier this year in February 3 locations in Thane linked to Praveen Raut, who is believed to be the frontman of Sanjay Raut as alleged by the ED. Now tell me, when there are so many charges, it's not one scam, it's 2 scams. So where is the vendetta charge coming from, and will that stick? So far in court it's not sticking. George Kurian, and then Vanjari is coming in. Mr. Vanjari. Yeah, George Kurian first.
Niranjan, I want to quickly make 2-3 points. Firstly, you mentioned about the Pearl scam where Sanjay Raut's name is popping up. I believe it's for the Enforcement Directorate to investigate if there is merit to the case. There is no, I'm not against that. Having said that, I want to say it's important to understand here, it's about the timing of the investigation that is happening. We have assembly elections this year. The following year in 23, we have assembly elections before the run-up to 2024. That is number one. Number two, the timing of the case and selective targeting. Please understand, why isn't BJP investigating, why is Enforcement Director not investigating BJP ministers? Because there are many cases which have come up in public domain, but that is all shut. Also, having said that, I want to say that if there is merit to the Sanjay Raut's case, the Patra Chawl case, the Enforcement Directorate should go ahead and investigate all these transactions that you mentioned, which is in public domain. If it's there for the ED to investigate, the summons given to Varsha Raut tomorrow is a welcome move. ED should go ahead, if there is a transaction into our account, the Enforcement Directorate should go ahead and investigate that as well. I strongly believe today the Bharatiya Janata Party is short of intellectuals. They are using agencies for wrong cases, wrong agencies for wrong cases. That's the situation today in the country. So
this is about my party. So can I answer? Sir, I might not be a great intellectual like you, and I don't pretend to be either. But we don't want corrupt intellectuals either.
Intellectual crimes, you mean?
I don't know, whatever he means.
I mean, live up to the constitutional democracy.
I mean, I'm sure other parties really excel at being intellectual
yes,
and
Mr. Vanjari,
committing crimes, you know, and also putting a spin on them. But no, let me answer first.
Quickly, Shazia, quickly, 30 seconds there. Mr. Vanjari hasn't spoken. Yeah.
I have not spoken. He has said a lot of things about the BJP. So first of all, sir, what is public domain? You said something very big. What are the charges against BJP leaders or BJP ministers in public domain? The whole world knows that we have about a prime minister, that when he said, na khaunga, na khane dunga, he stood to it. Remember the cabinet of yesteryears of UPA? And now not even one charge. And I was the one who left my career, my big job. I could have gone back to it, but I was part of anti-corruption. And listen, sir, sir, you must listen.
Yeah.
We were out there on the streets about corruption in every ministry, but not even one case against one ministry. So let me finish. There was a time against UPA when whether it was 2G, whether it was Air India, there were just charges and serious charge sheeting was going on.
Yeah.
And look at this government, and so you know what our prime minister is like. So
okay, let me.
We in a public domain.
Yeah, Mr. Vanjari hasn't spoken. Mr. Vanjari hasn't spoken.
I say,
Mr. Vanjari.
My other panelist will allow me to speak last but not least. Thank you for coming to me at the last. What I say,
Shubhankar is still there. Go ahead. But yeah, go ahead.
Apart from political vendetta, apart from criminalization of politics, apart from selective discrimination, One should not forget that ED is a constitutional institution which is responsible basically and answerable to law and secondly to the judiciary. They have to answer each and everything what you are asking now, and if they are prepared, I don't think there is any point in raising these questions against ED. Second important point, if it is say 1,000 crore Patra Chawl and Pearl scam, I don't know how many crores, if 1 crore has been proved to Sanjay Raut, then what about remaining 999? I urge ED to go on the route and see that how come these politicians who were a generation back staying in 10 to 15 square feet room got their bungalows of 250 crores now. It is a setting of good narratives and rightful examples. Not to forget, even if the BJP people are involved and their row in their time, they will also come in a row. Not to forget that. And finally, one last point I would like to make, that whatever is happening, whatever thing you said, it is all documented and proved. Right time or wrong time, the entire samay decide karega. The time will decide whose time will come. But it is setting a good narrative that the corrupt politicians who got huge properties at their disposal, how come they got, and why ED should not reach to the main brain and kingpin. I am pretty sure 1,000 crore is out of digestive health of Sanjay Raut. Sanjay Raut cannot digest that much amount. Where the amount has gone. In 100 crores, if you tag Anil Deshmukh for a year almost in a jail, why he was demanding that money? Where the money was scheduled to go? All these things should come, and I appeal sincerely, being a police officer, I appeal sincerely to ED, they should go to the root cause of this corruption.
Getting in Shubhankar, because Shubhankar has also seen, the ED has come in the case of the Trinamool Congress. They were questioning the ED. ED came in the case of Trinamool Congress, Partha Chatterjee. I mean, see what's happened. I mean, they've hit a mountain of cash. 50 crore in cash. The ED didn't plant the cash there, right? Even Mamata Banerjee had to drop Patra Chawl. So what's the problem? Do you want to tell the Shiv Sena to sort of cooperate? Shubhankar?
See, I guess this is one channel which is largely being watched across the globe. And in last 40 minutes, I've seen it going entirely a BJP talk show rather than you allowed anyone to produce their own perspective.
I think you're watching some other channel because everyone's spoken on this channel.
Everyone should get an equal chance to actually speak out.
Everyone has spoken. Who hasn't spoken?
For last 40 minutes. Anyways, you'll just see that the moment I start saying something, there will be a line of people coming in, including yourself. So, if you could allow me completely and if you could lend me your ears.
You've spoken for 30 seconds and haven't talked about the subject. Can you come to the subject, please? All of the panelists spoke on the subject. Please come to the subject.
That is where I said that this is where the patience runs out once it comes to the opposition. So, anyways, I heard a lot about how, when, where and everything. The only thing is I say that if someone is actually, if someone is culprit, you find him a culprit, you find him really accused of something, get to the helm of it, just throw them out, put them in jail or hang them, whatever you think you should be doing, do it. But yes, you also handled, I'll start pointing the things, I'll do something different from the box, is that I'll start pointing towards myself. Number one, if you remember, there was one Mukul Rai, I think you all have forgotten. There was one Mr. Mukul Rai who has now come back to our party, who was once in BJP party, and there was a huge, hue and cry about Sharada case. All of a sudden, that Sharada case has vanished. All of a sudden, we stopped talking about it. So kindly don't do that with Sanjay Raut. Kindly don't do that with Patra Chatterjee also. And kindly don't do that with Subhendu Adhikari.
Are you suggesting that? Are you suggesting that Patra Chatterjee is going to join the BJP?
I will like to see him actually join the BJP, and then I'll see that what kind of actually the ED takes the steps on him. The thing is, it's already, there is a lot of what and how and where is all the questions are cropped up. I'll ask you one single how. The single how is, how come the nation has gone down economically, and how is it that
where is it gone
in
down
72
economically, sir?
years or 75
I just
years,
a little confused.
Just
Okay.
a second, just
Yeah.
a second,
Yeah.
just a second. In 75 years, all of a sudden in last 7 years, there is one largest party in the world has been the largest, the richest party in the world also, and that's BJP. Kindly do a research work on Wikipedia.
I have-
The richest party in the world.
I have last 1 minute on the debate.
What science is
No,
it?
I have last 1 minute on the debate. 1 minute. I have last 1 minute on the debate. Okay, Shubhankar, I have 1 minute on the debate. 30 seconds to Shazia, 30 seconds to Lieutenant Commander Gokul Chandran. 1 minute. Hold on. Shubhankar. 1 minute. I'll have Shazia and Lieutenant Commander Gokul Chandran. 1 minute. 30 seconds each. 30 seconds each. Don't speak over each other.
And why? Because most people believe in it. And most people contribut to it, which is exactly how you know it, which is why it's the richest party.
Shazia and Lieutenant Commander Gokul Chandran.
No, and also, because he's wrong on so many. Also, we have controlled the inflation best. It's the fastest growing economy. So you're really wrong on many facts. And the fact that you know it's got maximum contributions is because we talk about it. It's not a fact.
Okay,
it's not
Lieutenant Commander Gokul Chandran, last word. Do you think they should just cooperate, let the investigation go on?
Yeah, it is very bizarre, simple. If you join BJP, you will be absolved from all the cases you are facing. If you are opposing BJP, they will be trying to intimidate you, try to put you in jail,
you are from an armed forces.
whatnot. They will tarnish your image. Simple as it is.
Okay, let's see where the story goes. Tracking the story closely, Shazia Almi, Mr. Vanzari, Swapnil Kothari, Patikrit Pain, Vijay Krishna, Lieutenant Commander Gokul Chandran, Shubhankar, George Kurian. Thank you for joining us on The Burning Question. The debate is coming up in just a few minutes with Arnab Goswami on top of 9 p.m. The big debate on the freedom struggle for profit scam. Stay tuned.
आग को फैलने से रोकना मुश्किल है पर नामुमकिन नहीं। अब फायरवॉल टेक्नोलॉजी के साथ सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम आग से बचाए।
Ahead of India's 75th Independence Day, the nation is celebrating the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Indian Army Jawans organized a mini marathon in Mumbai to celebrate the Har Ghar Tiranga campaign.
It is something very important to know that Har Ghar Tiranga that has been initiated under the aegis of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav with the Ministry of Culture is the nodal ministry. But it is something that will be inspired Indians everywhere to host the national flag at their home. It is an initiative that is brought in by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, asking to, he is called upon all citizens to turn the Har Ghar Tiranga campaign into a mass movement by hosting or displaying the national flag at their home. So this is the program that has been initiated by Indian Army in Mumbai, starting from the Kalina.
Bureau Report for Republic TV.
The protesters are trying to exert force on the barricades and trying to break it down.
Mr. Chatterjee, would you like to respond?
Sonia Gandhi coming out of and we can see Priyanka Gandhi also here along with Sonia Gandhi.
Sanjay Raut sitting outside his residence. He has come out.
Rakhi is around the corner and celebrations and preparations for the same have already started in Surat. Ahead of this occasion, Surat's bazaar is fleeting with beautifully colored Rakhis. Amidst all this, a school in Surat with specially abled children are trying to make ends meet by selling their own Rakhis. They are growing self-confidence, sincere prayer to God and pearls of love and emotion made in an emotional Rakhi are rivaling the professional Rakhis. The creativity of the students does not just limit to Rakhi making, but also decorative dishes and covers.
ये बच्चे जैसे स्पेशल चाइल्ड हैं, मेंटली रिटायर्ड बच्चे हैं, हम चाहते हैं कि इन बच्चों को स्टाइपेंड हम देते हैं, तो उनके हिसाब से ये बच्चे वोकेशनल ट्रेनिंग में ये सीखते हैं और बच्चे काफ़ी आइटम फेस्टिवल्स के बनाते हैं। लास्ट 15 साल से मेरे बच्चे राखी और फेस्टिवल्स आइटम क्रिएट करते हैं.
These special schools are working hard to make them stand on their feet by providing them proper education and creativity growth. Agency report, Republic TV.
Ahead of an ASEAN meeting, US Secretary of State Antony Blinken met with India's Foreign Minister Subramaniam Jaishankar. The meeting was reported from Cambodia.
Compare notes as we head into these very important ASEAN meetings. We're both strong proponents of ASEAN centrality. We had a shared vision together for a free and open Indo-Pacific that we work on in so many different ways every single day. And of course, we have some immediate challenges that we're both concerned with, to include the situation in Sri Lanka, Burma.
ED sources probing Sanjay Raut's role in a second scam after Patra Chawl scam. A pearl scam is now emerging. As Court Lord's probe agency with new leads emerging, Sanjay Raut stays in ED custody till the 8th of August.
In the CBSE 2022 boards, the toppers for classes 12 and 10 are from Amity once again. At Amity, we are privileged to educate brilliant students and express our gratitude to our teachers and school leaders who passionately work for the success of our children.
Rakhi is around the corner and celebrations and preparations for the same have already started in Surat. Ahead of this occasion, Surat's bazaar is fleeting with beautifully colored Rakhis. Amidst all this, a school in Surat with specially abled children are trying to make ends meet by selling their own Rakhis. They are growing self-confidence, sincere prayer to God and pearls of love and emotion made in an emotional Rakhi are rivaling the professional Rakhis. The creativity of the students does not just limit to Rakhi making, but also decorative dishes and covers.
ये बच्चे जैसे स्पेशल चाइल्ड हैं, मेंटली रिटायर्ड बच्चे हैं, हम चाहते हैं कि इन बच्चों को स्टाइपेंड हम देते हैं, तो उनके हिसाब से ये बच्चे वोकेशनल ट्रेनिंग में ये सीखते हैं और बच्चे काफ़ी आइटम फेस्टिवल्स के बनाते हैं. लास्ट 15 साल से मेरे बच्चे राखी और फेस्टिवल्स आइटम क्रिएट करते हैं.
These special schools are working hard to make them stand on their feet by providing them proper education and creativity growth. Agency report, Republic TV.
Ahead of an ASEAN meeting, US Secretary of State Antony Blinken met with India's Foreign Minister Subramaniam Jaishankar. The meeting was reported from Cambodia.
Compare notes as we head into these very important ASEAN meetings. We're both strong proponents of ASEAN centrality. We had a shared vision together for a free and open Indo-Pacific that we work on in so many different ways every single day. And of course, we have some immediate challenges that we're both concerned with, to include the situation in Sri Lanka, Burma, and a number of other hotspots. So I very much look forward to once again being able to go through a number of these issues with my friend, and then we'll both head over to our meetings.
Meanwhile, Blinken is set to take part in the ongoing ASEAN meetings in Cambodia. Agency report, Republic TV.
Look at the mountain of cash.
राहुल गांधी को हिरासत में लिया जा रहा है. बड़ी खबर, बड़ी जानकारी.
Top national update. Shiv Sena MP Sanjay Raut's ED custody has been extended till August 8 in connection with a money laundering case in the Patra Chawl's land case. Earlier, Raut said that he has been kept in a room which has neither window nor ventilation. The ED, however, denied the claim and said that the entire building is air conditioned. With the ED
ठीक है, इसको मानते हैं।
सही है, क्योंकि हम लोग हिंदुस्तानी हैं तो तिरंगा झंडा फहराना उचित है। हाँ, चूँकि हम लोग हिंदुस्तानी अपने देश की रक्षा करेंगे, हर कदम आगे बढ़ाने का कोशिश करेंगे। सबसे ऊपर है और सबके हक में है। जब देश आज़ाद हुआ 1947 में, तो हमारा झंडा तो यही न तिरंगा फहराया गया। अब इसको राजनीतिक पक्ष विपक्ष
In the CBSE 2022 boards, the toppers for classes 12 and 10 are from Amity once again. At Amity, we are privileged to educate brilliant students and express our gratitude to our teachers and school leaders who passionately work for the success of our children.
आग को फैलने से रोकना मुश्किल है, पर नामुमकिन नहीं। अब फायरवॉल टेक्नोलॉजी के साथ सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम आग से बचाए।
Opposition leader Mallikarjun Kharge said that he was urgently summoned by the ED following that Rajya Sabha witnessed ruckus. Speaking on the floor of the House, a senior Congress leader contended that the ED's move is inappropriate considering that the session is underway. Assam CM Himanta Biswa Sarma made a strong statement and said that Assam is becoming a hotbed for Islamic fundamentalists and said that the whereabouts of the 5 Bangladeshi nationals are not known. He referred to the 5 terror modules busting in Assam in the last 5 months as the basis of his fears. As the nation is all set to celebrate India's 75th Independence Day, the country is geared up to celebrate Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, and various cities held Tiranga rally to commemorate Independence Day.
Under an agreement Moscow and Kiev signed last month to unblock Ukraine's agricultural exports and ease a global food crisis, the first cargo ship loaded with grain to leave Ukraine since Russia invaded more than 5 months ago safely crossed the Black Sea and anchored just outside Istanbul en route Lebanon. New Zealand government released its first ever climate adoption plan, which includes the possibility of moving some communities to higher ground. According to Climate Change Minister James Shaw, about 70,000 coastal homes in New Zealand are at risk due to rising water level in the area.
Ahead of India's 75th Independence Day, the nation is celebrating the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Indian Army Jawans organized a mini marathon in Mumbai to celebrate the Har Ghar Tiranga campaign.
It is something very important to know that Har Ghar Tiranga that has been initiated under the aegis of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav with the Ministry of Culture is the nodal ministry. But it is something that will be inspired Indians everywhere to host the national
debate at 9 p.m. 59%. Republic TV 39%. Republic Bharat 13%. Republic Bangla 30%.
Protesters are trying to exert force on the barricades and trying to break it down.
Mr. Chatterjee, would you like to respond?
Sonia Gandhi coming out of the, and we can see Priyanka Gandhi also here, along with Sonia Gandhi.
Sanjay Raut sitting outside his residence. He has come out. He has come out.
Freedom struggle for profit scam gets bigger.
आप नेशनल हेराल्ड की बात कर रहे हैं, देखिए ये पूरा इंटिमिडेशन का अटेम्प्ट है। ये सोचते हैं कि थोड़ा सा मतलब प्रेशर डाल के हमें चुप कर देंगे, हम चुप नहीं होने वाले हैं।
Will the war Patra Congress answer on the 2,000 crore scam. Arnav debates at 9 p.m. India roars Tiranga above all, but some politicize.
प्रधानमंत्री जी ने हर घर तिरंगा लगाने का एक आह्वान किया, इसमें भी राजनीति करना और वो भी इस प्रकार की छोटी राजनीति करना, ये फ्रस्ट्रेशन उचित नहीं।
What is nationalistic about opposing Har Ghar Tiranga? Arnav debates at 10 p.m.
Rakhi is around the corner and celebrations and preparations for the same have already started in Surat. Ahead of this occasion, Surat's bazaar is fleeting with beautifully colored Rakhis. Amidst all this, a school in Surat with specially abled children are trying to make ends meet by selling their own Rakhis. They are growing self-confidence, sincere prayer to God and pearls of love and emotion.
From the Delhi studios of Republic TV, it's time for Arnab Goswami on The Debate.
Arnab Goswami on The Debate at 9. Presented by New Citroën C3 and Amity University. Powered by RP Sanjeev Goenka Group, Century Ply and JK Tires.
Good evening and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. The Patra Congress and their bosses, the Patra Gandhis, should really stop it. They should stop making their display of panic so public. And instead, they should accept the fact that the massive scam that they have engineered has been unraveled. For the fact is, ladies and gentlemen, that there is nobody in the country today, nobody except their party acolytes who are outraging over their parliament leader Mallikarjun Kharge being interrogated inside the National Herald building. And on the contrary, it is giving the vast majority of Indians immense pleasure to see a party that institutionalized corruption for 70 years get it back. Ladies and gentlemen, without doubt the ED will and should seize the properties, and why just the properties, the bank accounts of the Patra Gandhis, but it must not stop at that. The Patra Gandhis must be asked to explain to the people of India every rupee and every square inch of land that they own. They must be asked to explain the precise source of the funds for every home that they have and for every land parcel that they control. For the last 7 years, the nation has been waiting anxiously to see action against Damad Shri, which has unfortunately not happened. I would only say, let there be no half measures this time. Half measures will not work this time. The fight against corruption must go all the way, and that's what we are debating with tonight. The freedom struggle for profit scam breaking on Republic is nearing a logical end every passing day, and with it there is a rise of the hysteria of one party. What are they afraid of? That's debate number one. And debate number two this evening, viewers. The Tiranga is uniting all of us across the country, but some in the opposition cannot get past petty politics. Why does patriotism, why does nationalism, why does the Tiranga scare them? Debate number two. And tonight, breaking story. China fires not one, not two, but 5 ballistic missiles into Japan's waters has a desperate and unhinged Beijing finally lost all control? That's the global debate. And here are the headlines. Here are the headlines this Thursday evening on the Debate Tonight.
भागने की कौन बात कर रहा है? भागने की वो बात कर रहे हैं. देखिए, सुनिए बात. हम इंटिमिडेट नहीं होंगे. हम नरेंद्र मोदी से नहीं डरते हैं.
Patra Congress begins to get really frantic as the ED crackdown in the freedom struggle for profit case explodes. The ED tightens its snooze, interrogates Mallikarjun Kharge for 8 hours in the 2,000 plus crore scam. And nation says Tiranga above all. Why the politics ahead of the 75th Independence Day? Har Ghar Tiranga becomes a massive national success. The tricolor flies high across India. And blow after blow to the corrupt Sanjay Raut. He's been sent to custody and his wife has been summoned. And China resorts to massive escalation in the name of military drills as the Xi Jinping regime lost all control after the embarrassment. And ladies and gentlemen, Mallikarjun Kharge was questioned by the ED for over 6 hours today. The documents of National Herald and Young Indian were scrutinized closely.